Welcome back to Batman No Man's Land right here at Comicstorian, your home for narratives read by me, Benny. Today we're going to be continuing our storylines within Batman No Man's Land. Now these are all individual storylines taking place in a certain time period in the Batman mythos, and that time period is No Man's Land. Gotham has been cut off from the rest of the United States, and various villains have taken up various locations inside of Gotham as their base of operations for their gang. So it's basically gang warfare featuring Batman, who has his own area. Even the Gotham PD is not working with him. The way they broke this story up is into a series of short stories that take place in the No Man's Land. And today we're going to be covering The King and I Cover the Waterfront from Volume 3 of the Omnibuses. The sounds of the last Skinner being knocked out echo through the silent night as Batman twists the knife from the man's hand. As things go quiet once again, Batman looks around at all of the men hanging from the ceiling, telling himself that these men are lucky that he came when he did. And one of those men begins to wiggle around, yelling, "Hurry! Cut me loose! Blood's rushing to my head!" But Batman doesn't hurry. He knows who that man is. Henry Streeter. Henry is a British national wanted for global computer crimes. He came to run a sting on Gotham's stock market the day before the quake. Bad timing for him. Batman reaches up to untie Henry, and Henry tells him that he has to hurry. It looks like someone is flashing the light before finishing the last knot. Batman leaves for the bat signal, and Henry yells asking, "Where are you going?" With a quick flick of his wrist, a small batarang soars through the air, cutting the rope that is suspending Henry. Henry comes crashing down, and Batman tells him that he'll be back. Don't be here when he is. A few moments later, Batman pulls the cloth draped over a series of salvaged headlights, stating that their set is rather clever. "Now explain." The priest and the young girl turn back, and the girl yells, "He came! He really came! The king of Gotham!" The priest says that he knows what this looks like. They need help, but it would be easier if he'd explain downstairs. So Batman tells the priest that he heard of the king, an urban legend that sprung out of a chaotic nightmare that Gotham has become. The modern-day Robin Hood, helping the weak and feeding the poor. A shred of hope and decency in a world of anarchy. The priest says that the king isn't just a fable. He's real and he has helped them. The king has provided them with a rehydration powder to bring some of them back from the brink of death, then taught them how to make water filters using just sand, gravel, and charcoal. Batman asks, "What is it you need then? Has the king disappeared?" The priest says that the king left him a makeshift bat signal in case he didn't return. So Batman sets back out looking for the mysterious King of Gotham, with what very little information he has. You see, there is a king in Gotham and no one has ever seen his face, but his teachings have spread far and wide throughout the wasteland. Batman stops at one of the known water traders in the city to find their operation ransacked and the men killed. And upon investigating one of the deceased, Batman sees scales under one of the men's fingernails. And that scale could only belong to one man. Across the city, at the mall ruins, a man is beaten as Killer Croc shouts, telling the man to say it again. The man says that Killer Croc is the king of Gotham, Your Highness. Croc grabs the man, shaking him, asking, "Do you know how many skulls I had to crush to find you?" And the man struggles, telling him, "Too many." So Croc throws him, asking, "Who said you could talk?" One of Croc's thugs asks if they should really be hurting the guy. The dude's worth his weight in gold, the magic he could work. Croc then spins back, grabbing that thug by the head, squeezing it until there's a blood-curdling Croc! Croc then turns back to the others, asking if anyone else feels like speaking up. As everyone shakes their heads no, Batman rolls in a concussion grenade to blind everyone and make short work of the thugs. Croc then lunges, grabbing Batman from behind, telling him, "Now this is more like it!" Batman whips his head back, breaking Croc's nose, and the two begin to exchange blows. Before Batman can get the upper hand, Croc swipes his claws, ripping into Batman's chest, causing him to fall over. Croc leaps into the air to deliver the final blow, but Batman catches Croc by his feet, launching through the wall into the parking lot below. As Batman gets back up, the king says that he's got some moves. "Have you come to bust up Croc, or me?" Batman gets up staring at the man, asking, "Stanley Dembski? You're the king?" Stanley sits up telling him, "I didn't pick that name. Some kid said it and well, it's stuck. Kinda like it though. Well, until recently when Croc was trying to take it." Batman asks him, "What's your angle? You're a career criminal. Why the Good Samaritan acts?" Stanley tells him, "I got old. That's what. I spent so much of my life in Blackgate I figured I'd give back. Teach people some new skills and trades, make a little money. But this place, it's dog eat dog and then some. I had no idea that it was getting so bad. After meeting the priest and them kids, well, I wanted to do more. Does that sound nuts, Batman? Batman tells him, no, it doesn't. So a short while later, Batman helps Stanley back into the priest's sanctuary, telling them that his name is Stanley Dembski, and he's a friend. It started at 11:45 at night. Jimmy and his Jets try to knock over some old man Sanchez in his gas station. Sanchez does well defending himself at first, but one of Jimmy's goons cracks Sanchez from behind with a chain, and it's all over. But lucky for Sanchez, the boots of Cassandra Cain set down and everyone stops what they're doing. Everyone stares at Cassandra, who now wears the Batgirl costume, and, well, they burst out laughing. One of the goons tells the others to get a load of this! It's a little orphan ninja! And Jimmy and the Jets have now underestimated her. And she thinks good, because that'll make things easier. Cassandra leaps into the air, knocking each one of the thugs out one by one. A chop to the neck, a boot to the face, a palm to the chin, and a pinch to the throat. Jimmy drops his knife as Cassandra Cain continues to squeeze. She likes it too much. She must stop right now. The message has been delivered, the territory is hers. Sanchez jumps up to his feet, shouting that that's right. Who's laughing now, you bums? And once the scene is clear, Sanchez brings Cassandra into the gas station, and she sends word that the target is secured. All that's left is to send the prearranged command code and wait. Over at the clock tower, Batman receives the command that Cassandra has taken over the gas station. Nightwing tells her that that's good. They can move out now, and Batman tells him no. Joker's forces have now taken the west side. There's too much activity on the northeast corridor. They're going to need to wait till dawn. So Nightwing asks if they're really going to leave Cassandra out there. It'll be a long night for the girl. And Batman tells him, yes, it will be, but she can do the job. See, earlier that night, Batman and the others were looking for a way to secure gas for the generators at the hospital. Problem was, gas is tapped from the tower to Midtown. And that's why Cassandra motioned that she wanted to help, pointing at the map of the city. Batman looks at where she's pointing, telling her, I'm using Mile. It's a war zone between here and there. I can't send you up there alone. Cassandra grabs Batman, pleading with him, and after careful consideration, Batman agrees. She'll go and secure the area, and once things are clear, she will send out a call to retrieve the gas. She will not leave the target area and will not, under any circumstances, let anyone die. So, Cassandra waits, and she waits, and she waits. Sanchez washes the windows, talking about how things used to be, how he knew Jimmy and the others when they were kids. But his talking is distracting. She was there to secure the area, not make idle chat. She climbs up to one of the nearby buildings to get a lay of the land, learn its sounds, its smells, its rhythms, the places where it's fortified and where it's vulnerable. Make it hers. And that's when she hears the voices. Down in the alleyway, one of Jimmy's goons says that he's not sure about this one. It's just a gas station, right? It'll explode if they shoot it with a rocket launcher. Jimmy sets up the old-style rocket launcher on its metal stand, telling him that the Penguin said it was the last one. Gotta prove a point. The others continue to question Jimmy's decision, but then another voice says that it's because Jimmy is scared of the girl. Jimmy turns back, yelling at Django to shut up, but one of the goons says that Django took karate, right? He was a black belt in school. Weren't you, Django? Django steps out of the shadows with his cigarette, telling them all that he was. As he gets closer, the men begin to talk softly to make sure that no one else can hear their plan. And so a little while later, Jimmy returns to the gas station, calling out to Sanchez that he's got something for him and his little girlfriend. Sanchez runs out, shouting that he doesn't have time for her, and Jimmy stops him. What's wrong? Oh, the rocket launcher? Yeah, that's how things are gonna go down. You're either going to give me the gas station or we're going to blow it up. Sanchez tells him that they're going to have to shoot through him first. So Jimmy then tells one of the thugs to fill up the gas can. The ninja girl isn't around, so there's no stopping them. As the thugs get closer, Sanchez, well, he smiles. Jimmy asks what gives, and that's when Cassandra jumps in, kicking the thug off of the rocket launcher. She holds the man down, kicking and taking out the others, not breaking eye contact with Jimmy. And once she's done, well, she cracks Jimmy one. Django rushes in with a broken bottle, but Cassandra can tell that this is going to be easy. She can smell the cigarette smoke off of him. He's most likely out of shape. Jimmy yells to one of the thugs to stop wasting time, fill the can, and when he gets there, he only gets a few single drops. You see everyone stares, and Sanchez stands there smiling, stating that they haven't had any gas for about 3 weeks now. All of this has been for nothing. Jimmy jumps to his feet, shouting, "Bull! You have a stash of gas somewhere! Spill it or the gas station is gone!" And Sanchez tries to tell them again that there really isn't any, so Jimmy pulls the trigger. Cassandra quickly runs through, grabbing both Sanchez and the thug and moving them out of the way of the RPG. Seconds later, there's a kaboom! As the gas station is blown to pieces. Cassandra charges in, kicking Jimmy, beating him to the ground when Sanchez tells her to stop. He knows that she's angry, but she can't sink to their level. If she stomps his face in now, she'll lose something more important: her principles. Don't turn into another animal, and don't stop caring. Cassandra pauses, and she walks away. Batman steps out of the shadows, telling her that she followed orders. Good job, soldier. And as it turns out, Sanchez did have a stash of gas hidden in the hot dog stand down the street. With that, the generators of the hospital can keep running for another 2 weeks, and the injured were taken to the MASH unit and treated, and time passed. Broken bones healed, things will never be the same. And that concludes 2 more short stories in the Batman No Man's Land arc. Now, if you enjoyed this, consider subscribing to our channel, as we'll basically be doing this every Sunday, and if you sub, you'll get this notification every Sunday. Also, don't forget to give this video a like if you want to let me know that, hey, I really want more Batman No Man's Land, and you can follow us over at Patreon to get early access to our videos and unedited versions of our podcast. Your support there is greatly appreciated, and we'll also see you next time right here at the Comicstorian channel.